And we will get started. And we also have our special guest here. Welcome, Annette. So we're going to hear from Annette Forsyth a little bit later. Many of you know Annette, and I will introduce her a little bit later. But before we get started, I'm Denise Mend. This is Paul Mend. We are both leads at Growth U. For those of you who don't know us, Paul was a teacher for over 30 years. He was educating mainly in the high school, secondary school arena, very brave man. And for the last 15 years,
elementary teachers are brave.
The last 15 years of his career, he taught psychology. So it is natural that he found his way here to Growth U, where we use psychological principles and models to become more.
Absolutely. And to my left, you're right on the screen, depending on which side you're on, as my lovely partner of 31 years. And she has been a high-level athlete. She's a physiotherapist, a wise woman, a mom. She has many roles, and ultimately a lead here at Growth U as well. And started in this arena before I arrived. And in fact, what got me here was seeing the growth and the change in her in the time that she had been involved with Growth U. And initially my comment was, I teach this stuff. And then as I saw her growing and recognized I want to grow along with you, I said, sign me up, because you're not outgrowing me. So that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Ooh, almost 6. Yeah. So we've been working on intentional growth here for that long. And I think all of us here know that we all are growing, whether we know it or not. And our intention here with this weekly webinar series is to have you go away with actionable items, tools for you to become more. So we present models that we use here at Growth U and help you to understand how you can become more and achieve the things you want to achieve in your life with more ease by using these models.
I want to welcome Laura and Melanie, who just joined us as well.
Hello, everybody. These are many of you on the line today live, all know what I'm talking about, right?
And anybody catching this on recording.
Yes. So yes, hello. Yeah, so please, if you have, actually, you know what, I would love to know where everybody is coming in from. So if you can type it in the comments, let us know where you are tuning in from, because we can't see you except for Annette.
I know Laura's coming in from North Carolina.
Yeah, there you go.
Bobby Jean is.
So what are we going to talk about today, Mr. Mend?
We're going to talk about belief and mindset.
And why does belief matter?
Belief is the core at everything we do, right? So our brain, and we've said this before, if you've watched any of our previous webinars, our brain's number one job is to keep us safe. And what our brain believes about certain situations, for what's safe for one person may not be safe for another, based on experiences they've had, based on belief of what will happen in that situation. If it's something new that you haven't experienced before, fear could be something that could hold you back from doing something. And I know Denise is going to tell the story with that sort of topic. But if you think about it, any experiences that you've had in any realm or any role that you do, it may have been scary at first. And as it becomes something that your brain now creates a routine and a neural pathway that you just know how to do it, and you don't even think about it, it becomes innate. It's almost like it's second nature, right? And so there's no fear involved because you've done it before, you've experienced it, and you have a belief about it that you are capable to do this, whatever that is. Anything new, we have to get into our uncertainty because we're going to grow. And that's where fear potentially could arise, because we may not have a strong belief about our capability to do X, Y, or Z.
So that brings us to the belief model. And many of you here have seen this model before. And we're going to just give a high level what this model means. And as Paul said, this is foundational to what we do here at Growth U, which is to become more, to create visions about what we want, to discipline our focus, to focus on what we want, because what we focus on, we become. And so this model is so important. Many of us say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it, right? And what we know about the unconscious brain, because if you look at this model, the left side of the model on my screen, so where it says belief and capability, that is that represents your unconscious mind, your unconscious brain. So we have all of these patterns and habits and beliefs that we have developed over our lifetime. And most of those beliefs, habits, patterns, we developed when we were young, before the age of 9. So around our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our friends, what environments we lived in, what media we watched, all of those things condition us to believe things, what faith organizations you belong to, what sporting organizations, what volunteering you did. Everything in your lifetime has helped you to develop these beliefs. Now, these beliefs may help you get to where you want to go, and they may block you from where you want to go. And so when we think about belief, our belief really dictates our capability. So if I believe I am capable of meeting any challenge, that opens up my unconscious mind's creativity to discover how I'm going to do something. Many of us get to strategy before belief. Like, how can I do this? How can I do this? I've got to figure out how to meet this challenge, right? In the description of this webinar, we talked about results around your wealth, your health, your career, right? Are you getting the results that you want? How can I get the results? So we challenge you, what do you believe about that capability? Yeah.
So, but there's a great quote, and most of you have probably heard it. If you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
You're right.
And if, growing up, the word can't was a 4-letter word that was not allowed to be used in our house, in my household. And so I grew up, not being able to say that word. That was like a swear word. So, and my dad, instilled that in us. So that was something that, if you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
You're right. Yes. Yeah. That's such a great description of what the unconscious mind does, right? So we have beliefs in every single domain in our life. And so when you think about the number of things that our unconscious brain believes, really, it's infinite. We have beliefs about what we should eat, how much we should sleep, what movement or activity I should do, what should I, when should I brush my teeth? When should I have my dinner? What other beliefs do we have?
Well, I'm just going to say that some people have those beliefs and don't act on them.
Or they don't even know they have them.
Yes. Yeah. Or there's a limiting belief of why they can't, right? Because I think everybody knows they should exercise, they should sleep a certain amount, they should hydrate. Like, these are things that people, I think, have, there's like a common, there is no common sense. No, I just said, if there was such a thing as common sense, everybody would have it.
There's no common sense.
However, I will say that I think as a psychology teacher, for me, I'll be vulnerable. I could talk the talk. I read all the books. I knew all of the sort of models and how to teach it. And until kind of coming into Growth U, where it was like you put the rubber to the pavement, so to speak, and you started doing it on a daily basis, it was easy to talk. I know, I read that book, I watched that podcast, I listened to that podcast. And it's easy to sort of absorb information up here, but to put it into action, that's where the magic happens. And that's what we do at Growth U. We have programs 30, 45, 60 days to get you to build that new neural pathway. Basically, we call it updating the operating system, right? We do this on our phone all the time. Every month we get an update. When's the last time we've updated this, right? Because most of us are running on old patterns and habits from our childhood, from our adolescence, from our young adulthood. And some of those patterns and habits are great, And some of them may have different belief systems than what will help us get to where we want to be.
Mhm.
If I want to quit smoking, if I want to lose weight, if I want to get in shape, any of these things, they take action and action over time.
Now I'm interested, how many of you, when somebody says, oh, it's hard to get back into shape. How many of you have said that, or said, oh, it's so hard to do that new thing I'm trying to do. It's so hard. How many of you have said that? Put a 1 in the comments if you've noticed yourself saying, oh, it's so hard to do X. I've said that. Oh, it's such a hard day today. Right? Yeah, everybody put a 1. Yeah.
Well, and I love to say, choose your heart, because
yeah.
if you don't get in shape, what's the other option?
Yes.
You end up in the medical system, and whether it's whatever. Right?
Yeah. And so my point is that we all have beliefs that we are unaware of, and we have beliefs that we are aware of. And so in this model, as you look about going over to the conscious side, which is where strategy and results live, right? So this is what our conscious brain does.
It sounded like Star Wars, when you go to the conscious
When you
side.
go to the conscious side,
Yeah,
yes,
I like
versus
that.
the unconscious side. So fear lives at in between capability. Basically, fear is the brain's way of keeping us safe. And somebody very wisely said today on an earlier call that we were on, said fear gets us to act, to move. It nudges us. So the brain's number one job is to keep us safe and the same. And when we think about beliefs and capability, like, what do I believe about my ability to do this thing that I want to do, that I say I want to be? If I get fear, there's one of two things I'll do. I'll either act and try it anyway, or I will stay the same and I won't act.
And I would say there's 3 things, right?
There's 3
Freeze,
things. Yes.
flight, or fright.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're either going to freeze and just be immobile.
Stay the same. Yeah.
Right. You're going to fight, and you're going to have courage to deal with what that
or
is.
You're going to run away.
You're going to run like hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll give a quick example. And I told this story earlier today. I was out paddleboarding this morning with a very good friend, or yesterday morning. What day is it today? Yesterday. And she's got a new board. It's narrower. It's scary. And she said to me, I don't think I can do this, Denise. I don't think I can. I think this board is not good for me. I think we have
to preface it. The water's really cold.
And the water's still cold. So you don't want to fall in.
There is a fear factor.
Yeah. Although she's a great swimmer. Anyway.
But you don't want to get cold.
So the point of my story is, as she was scared and she did it anyway, she got on the board, she breathed through it. She did not fall in. We paddled for over an hour. We got back to shore, and she said, wow, that was a great day. That was such a great day. It was beautiful. It was glass calm. It was just a gorgeous morning. And she was so proud of herself. And I went up, gave her a big hug. I said, you were scared and you did it anyway. And in a month from now, you're going to get on that board, and you will know that you can do anything on that board. And then will it be perfect? No. Will there be some days you fall in? Yes. Some days you'll stay on the dry side. The point is that when we are scared and we do it anyway, this is where we figure out what to do. Because now we are nudging ourselves into a zone where we don't know, and we are sharpening our focus and our brain's capability. So, Paul, what happens when we focus on something?
Well, that growth here, we call it the 4 laws of focus.
And Paul loves the brain, and it's
so
anatomy.
We have a little area of the brain called the reticular activating system, your RAS, RAS for short. And this brain filters incoming signals. And ultimately, whatever it is that we're focused on, we're going to find it. Right. So our 4 laws of focus that we speak about at Growth U is: what you focus on, you find; what you focus on grows; what you focus on seems real; and what you focus on, you ultimately become. That focus, whatever that is, you will find it. Right. You may be focused on the car that you're driving, and you'll notice all the other cars of the same make and model that you have when you're driving down the road. You're like, oh, there's my car.
We are noticing that a lot because we have a new car. So we're seeing those cars.
We're seeing lots of Hyundais. Lots of Hyundais everywhere. Who knew there were so many Hyundais on the road? Didn't notice them before we got one, but we notice them now. But again, it's whatever that is that you're focused on. And, focus on what you want, not what you don't want, because whatever you focus on, you're going to get. And I've mentioned this before. Really focus on what you want to happen to help you grow.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about the growth.
So in this model, it starts with belief. What do we believe about any domain? You pick it, fill in the blank. What do you believe about your ability to be healthy? What do you believe about your ability to create a new career as you're changing roles? Maybe you finished one job and you're starting another. Maybe you don't know what to do next. But what do you believe about your ability to figure it out? You will meet any challenge. And then as you believe in, I can meet any challenge, now I believe in my capability, right? And as I get to the conscious side of the brain, as I discipline my focus, now I start to see the how unfold. And if I know I'm going in the right direction, I will notice the results happening that I desire. So this is the belief model, you guys. And we want to introduce, actually, before we introduce Annette, Paul's just going to briefly talk about mindset. And really, mindset is the same thing as belief. And so how do the two connect? What do we, what's important about mindsets?
So scientifically, right, we have something called neuroplasticity. This is science, right? That's the ability for the brain to rewire itself. And a couple of years ago, a friend of mine who I worked in the school district with, he's a principal at an elementary school, and they had a book club. And the book that they were reading was Carol Dweck's original work, Mindset. This is where
growth mindset,
that term came out, right? And this term is probably only 18, 19, 20 years old now. And I
She's
believe
a Stanford
it was
professor.
2008 that was written. Anyways, doesn't matter. So he phoned up and said, hey, can you come talk to my staff? Because some people aren't buying into this mindset thing. And I'm like, it's not something to buy into. It's just science. So we went in and talked to the staff, and I just said that, I didn't even question the mind, talk about mindset. I just talked about neuroplasticity, because really that's what mindset is. And that neuroplasticity is proven, right? It's one of those things that really we can only disprove anything, but they know that the brain will rewire itself under ultimate circumstances. Like, your brain is always changing, it's always growing if you choose to focus on that area. If you're learning something new, if you're reading a book, if you're doing anything, if you're just even sitting, your brain will change.
It's adapting.
It's adapting to every situation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So because neuroplasticity exists, we know that that's what mindset is. And again, ultimately, it comes down to focusing on what it is that you want to choose to put into your life, and choose what changes you want to make.
Yeah.
Because most of us live in certainty, right? We know what we know. We're comfortable there. I don't need to change. I'm happy. And that's great if you're getting the results that you want.
So we want to bring Annette Forsyth onto the screen. So Annette, can you come on camera? Annette joins us from the East Coast of the US.
New Jersey.
And Annette has been a member, a participant, a grower, and now a leader and an advisor in Growth U. And she is, she's one of the most loving human beings you will ever meet. She is one of the best cooks I've ever met. She can't open the window. Let me see if I can do it for you. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I can't. Hold on. Let me see here. This is something new for us. Let me go to panelists. Here we go. I can bring you on screen. Hold on.
Make host.
Make
co-host, and then she should be able to then.
Now you should be able to come on screen, and try now. There we go. Yay. Okay. Technology. We're figuring it out.
Is this the part where I run?
So the reason we brought Annette on is that Annette is going to be advising a new program that we're going to start on Monday,
June
and
27th.
June 27th. And before we talk about that, Annette, I would love to hear your short story about why you love this program, number one, and two, you had a big aha moment about beliefs earlier this week, and I would love to hear that. And I'm sure the people watching would too.
Okay, well, this program, I love this program because, well, first of all, I loved the first title about getting shit done.
Part of getting
Yes,
shit done,
yes.
yes.
I'm just saying, but activate, right? So we all have everything we need inside of us to do anything we want. And it's so easy to become distracted and to lose focus. And this program takes us through building new habits so that we can create this mindset that will keep us from those things and actually move forward and do the things we want to do. So if you think about times in your lifetime where you want to do something so badly and you don't believe that you can, right? So everything, right? It always goes back to belief. You don't believe that you're strong enough or you're good enough or you're smart enough. But when you can work on that belief and create the habits to move forward, you can accomplish anything you want to. And as somebody who's battled that thing, that little voice that tells you that you're not good enough or not smart enough for a long time, I have come to this place by working on my belief, not only in myself, but in my capabilities. So really, all you have to do is close your eyes, take a deep breath, and take the first step. Along the path, like you do have to dig in for courage. And but along the way, you take that first step, and that's the hardest part. So this one hits very close to home, and I'm really thrilled that I get to participate and guide, and guide a group of people. I hope a group of people, a large group of people, through the whole process, because we really we are. I love the saying. I love the saying that Rod always said, we are programmed for greatness, right? So this is an opportunity to tap into everything that's in us and accomplish the things and not be held back by ourselves.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love this program.
Oh, thank you, Annette. That's so good. I love what you said about, if you believe that you aren't good enough, aren't smart enough, aren't capable, this is going to help you find that belief, isn't it? Yeah. I love that so much.
If you believe you're not good enough, you're not going to be good enough.
Yeah. To Paul's point, if you think you can or can't,
you're right. So you just have to take that step, and you never stop growing, and you never stop finding out things about yourself. And you just asked me about the belief that I had that had hit me earlier this week. And what happened was that I realized that sometimes you can have a belief and it might not be strong enough. And those are the beliefs you have to work on to make it stronger, so it does become part of your focus. There are beliefs in my life that I am so confident in, there's nothing that can shake me. And then there are things that I believe because I want them to be, I don't know where to draw the line between where I want them to be true and they really are true. And those are the ones that you have to really nurture and work on and build the confidence in them And sometimes you have to borrow belief from others, or you know, so that it, until you build it yourself. But it's, you know, our minds are truly, people are amazing, our minds are amazing. I love any opportunity that just allows us to tap in and see what we can do.
And we have a lot of fun, don't we? We have
Oh my
a lot
goodness.
of fun on this call, right?
Oh, goodness.
So with that in mind, I just want to describe a little bit about this program that you are going to be advising.
And while
Like I
you're
said,
describing it, I'm gonna put the link
you put
in.
the link in the comments so that anybody watching this now or watching the replay, you can use the link in the comments to register, and you can get, we'll put in a code that will get you a little bit off this. And so there actually are people that are already registered in that. And so there are limited spaces. So hop on now when you can. And what I will say is activate. And so the new title is Activate 30 Days to a More Productive Mindset. And what we will be working on, I'm enrolled in this one. I've taken it before and I'm taking it again. There's a bunch of the team that's going to be taking it. This really takes and connects your mental, your physical, your energetic, and your emotional minds, right? And really it's about connecting the conscious to the unconscious. So remember back to that model, guys, where belief and capability live is in your unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is our emotional mind. And it doesn't care what you want. It doesn't care about your dreams and desires. All it cares about is keeping you safe. So to connect the two, we must use this beautiful conscious mind to continually say, I believe I am capable of absolutely anything, and I know I can meet any challenge. And the more I say it, my unconscious mind will go, oh, wow, I guess she really means it. And this is where neuroplasticity comes
Well, this
in.
is, you're rewiring your brain
Yes.
for greatness.
Right. So the more that we do it, and this is why these programs are 30, 45, 60 days. So I'm going to challenge you guys that are on here and that are watching on replay. You deserve what you say you want. You deserve who you say you want to become. You are meant to be who you say you want to become. So use the link.
Come get it.
And join us, because the world needs people who are becoming more, you guys. The world needs us. The world needs people who believe in themselves so much they know they can do anything. So let's all do it together. Hey, Annette?
Yes, absolutely.
It reminds me of when we were in Vegas and we were in the pool and there was a guy from the military that was in the pool with us. We were playing football with his kids. And,
Oh, yeah.
and his line was, get some, get some. So get some, get some courage.
I love it so much. So please, guys, use the link, join us for Activate. And
Laura's in, she says.
Hey, Laura's in. And know that if you're watching this on replay, you can contact any of us, and know that we're going to be here every week, whether you join us for the programs or not, and know that there's a whole host of them that will meet your needs. So thank you for joining us. Annette, thanks for coming on with us. And we will see you all in a week. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.